do you think pennies are made of?
Money.
What was that, Sean? Copper.
Are they actually made out of copper?
So for this intensive purpose, it will be.
Okay.
So, Hillary did have copper. That was pretty interesting. Does anyone else want to share an element that they had? Maya?
We had this one.
Okay, and what is that?
We said it was lead.
Okay, and what observations did you make about the lead? What evidence do you have that says that item is lead?
So we said it was heavy, and it's loud when you drop it.
Uh-huh. So it's dense, it's a solid object,
So we wrote with it. Remember? Yeah, we wrote with it.
and you could write with it. And what did that remind you of?
Our pencils.
Your pencils. Yeah. So that's a good connection that we can make. So on 3.1, on your explanation guide, I want you to go ahead and take a minute here and describe what an element is in your words. So not our big formal definition that we already talked about, but what you think an element is. Think about the Legos and how Emmett asked us to build things and how you got to see what these items can make when you put a bunch of them together. So how would you describe what an element is? So Sarah, why don't you share your explanation with us? What is an element in your own words?
I said that it's something that is made of one thing.
Something that is made of one thing. So what would that make it?
A pure substance.
A pure substance, perfect. Does anyone disagree with Sarah? Did anyone say anything a little bit different?
I did.
Yeah, Mayanne, what did you say?
I said an element is a pure substance that is composed of one type of Lego.
What type of what?
Lego or
Lego.
building blocks.
Building block. I like it, making connections with Emmett. So 3.2, what are some examples of elements that you see in your everyday life? So I know, for example, we talked about aluminum foil. Hillary and I did, and she said her mom cooks with it. So that would be an example of an element in her everyday life.
So aluminum foils and
Are all the things that we
Aluminum is an element, and it's used to make foil.
are all the things that we that were in our baggies, are those all elements?
They're all elements. Do
So
any ladies
what-
have jewelry on?
Coal is an element.
So it's actually not coal. Does anyone know what that element is?
Carbon.
It's carbon.
How did you know it was carbon?
It looks like, coal's made of carbon. Oh, I do. It's black.
Interesting.
So carbon is a really interesting element, and I'm going to go back to my picture of carbon that I have right here. So what is this in this picture?
a diamond.
A diamond. It's a really big shiny rock, and it's worth a lot of money, right? Now, that is super different from what you have in your bags. What are some differences that you notice? You can pull your piece of charcoal out. Take a look at it. Compare it to, I wish I had a better picture now, to the diamonds.
Well, this is black.
It's black, whereas a diamond is,
Almost.
it's almost clear, it's translucent. Can I shine a light through that piece of coal? No. Can I shine a light through the diamonds?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what makes them pretty and expensive. So what if I told you guys, what do you think would happen that all diamonds came from a piece of coal like that? Would you believe me?
No.
No. But it's possible. So what could, we haven't really talked about this yet, but we will get to it this year. There's something that happens in the Earth's crust.
Pressure.
Pressure! Oh my gosh, way to go. How'd you make that connection?
Because Miss Shauna told me yesterday about pressure in history.
Cool. So what were you guys talking about in history that you were talking about pressure?
How we discovered Earth.
What?
And we were talking
Rock
about
salt.
volcanoes.
Volcanoes,
Yeah,
okay.
we were talking about volcanoes, and someone brought up something like that, and she told us that pressure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Man, do you have something to add?
Yes, we learned in 5th grade that, if you have fossils and it turn into fuel, so why can't carbon turn into diamond?
Right. So amazing thing happens. Huge amount of pressure and it compacts and it forces this carbon to undergo a structural change. Now it's not a chemical change or anything like that. It just goes from the lump of coal into a bright, beautiful diamond. Pretty neat, huh? Science rocks. Literally, they're rocks. So going back to our explanation guide, and this is really great. So I want you guys to think kind of deeply here. Why is it important that we understand what an element is? If you can think of maybe a real world example, something cool like coal being turned into diamond. Hillary talked earlier about why choosing Doritos may not be the best option. Yeah.
So why are diamonds so expensive if they start off like this?
So it actually is not a very common process. There's a lot of factors that have to come into play, and it's kind of expensive to harvest diamonds. But if you're interested, we can talk more after class about it. So, last question on our explanation guide. Why is it important that we understand what an element is?
Because everything is made up of.
Shauna said everything is made up of elements.
Okay, I didn't say everything. I said because things are made up of elements. So.
Okay, things are made up of elements. Did you want to add some?
Yeah. I put maybe because it's just one thing, so we need to know what other things are made of.
It's just one thing. We need to know what other things are made of.
I have something similar to Shauna,
Okay, you want to add to Shauna's?
but I would just add Legos. It's like Legos, you build things from it.
Yeah, so elements are the building blocks of all matter. This is why it's important. So you're made of elements, just like there's iron in your body. So you have these elements. You're made of carbon and oxygen and hydrogen, and everything in the world around you is made of elements. So that's why it's important. We need to know what's around us so that we can kind of have a good, positive environmental impact.
Like global warming.
Right, so like global warming. So, you guys have been great so far. We are going to wrap up with our evaluation. If you guys think back earlier, probably about a week and a half ago, we did concept maps. You guys remember we made concept maps? So what you're going to be doing is using these terms, you are going to create your own concept map to help you know what an element is. So you have to use at least 5 of these words. The words includes pure substance, matter, helium, hydrogen, copper, iron, nickel, oxygen, element, constant, broken down, metals, gases, carbons. So pick 5 of those words. Those are going to be your 5 key points, remember? And you need to link the words with additional words and phrases. So you have 4 minutes to complete this. And then it's Friday, so you get to go home. Constant one element.
Element. R, that's an R.
Oh, okay. Elements are constant. Element is for substance. It makes matter. Does it make matter or does it make up matter? Well, I'm asking you.
You mentioned it.
Bless you.
Thank you.
A pure substance was constant or an element was constant? It was a pure substance, right?
Yeah, so that can go both ways actually. But I like it.
Okay, join arrow, go ahead. Okay, so
Okay, is anyone still working? Okay, so you guys did awesome. We are gonna finish with our summary like we do with every class. So who wants to lead summary? What did we talk about today? Yeah, elements. What are elements?
a pure substance.
A pure substance. We called them, what are, Megan, you talked about Legos a lot. What are Legos?
Building blocks.
Building blocks. So, elements are pure substances that make up matter. So they're building blocks of matter, right? An element's a pure substance. It can't be broken down into other substances. And it is a sample of matter with constant composition. Shauna, I really like how you worded that. Elements are constant. And it has distinct chemical properties. And they're pure substances because they are made up of the same type of material and cannot be broken down any further. And does anyone want to give an example of an element before we leave?
Copper.
Copper,
Silver.
silver,
Iron.
Cool.
iron,
Carbon.
carbon.
Diamond.
What is diamonds made of?
Carbon.
Carbon. Good job. You guys learned a lot today. So what are you going to take home and tell your parents that you learned in class today?
Elements make up the world.
Elements make up the world.
Coal, you turn into diamonds, so I'm gonna tell Dad to get some coal so we can fire it up.
That'll be interesting. Let me know how it goes. But the biggest thing I want you guys to take away is that elements are pure substances, okay? Alright, so I'm all finished. If you guys will just sit quietly until the bell rings. Bell rings. Thank you guys.
Is that part of it? Oh no, that's yours.
Do y'all have your notes, handouts for your notes?
No.
No, but I wrote on
Huh?
the stuff that
Good.
they gave us.
Oh. Sorry.
You want me to send you a computer now?
Dr. West,